Dwyane Wade was a star in the NBA. He won multiple championships, racked up a ton of awards, and he cemented and created his own legacy. But what about his son? Only a few years ago, everybody was talking about his son, Zaire Wade, and how he was on the come up and he was the next big thing. He was listed as a 3-star recruit, had multiple D1 offers, and had over 1 million followers on Instagram. Whether that was because of his dad or he got them himself, that's up for debate. Yes, you could make the argument and say he was getting all of his hype because he's Dwyane Wade's son, but if you saw him play, you couldn't deny that this kid could hoop. As quickly as this hype built though, it almost seems like it went away just as fast. I'll just leave it at this: the past couple of years for Zaire Wade, they haven't been too good, so therefore it leaves us with the questions today. What happened to Zaire Wade, and where's he now, and what's going on? What's good, y'all? Hope you're having a blessed day. Just wanted to drop by and say we're on the road to 1 million subscribers. Can't get there without you. So if you like the content, feel free to hit that subscribe button, leave a like, helps out the channel. And now without further ado, let's get into this story. This is one of the most peculiar situations I've ever seen with a basketball player. Some people thought he was really good and he had a chance to be great, but on the other hand, you had people who didn't even think he was average. I've gotten a few DMs to ask for an update on Zaire, so here you have it. If you have any recommendations, feel free to send them to me on Instagram or Twitter. To get into the case of Zaire Wade, we gotta throw it back to the Sierra Canyon days. I'm sure some of you remember this, or some of you may not, but Zaire Wade played with Bronny and on that stacked Sierra Canyon team only a couple of years ago. He's the guy on the team that got lost in the mix of things, and it was a terrible situation overall. Going into that season, he was supposed to be one of the best players on that entire roster and a big piece to their offense. This was going to be Zaire's senior season, and this was Bronny James's freshman season, and ironically, Bronny James as a freshman played more than Zaire did as a senior. Right there off the bat, you can tell and see how this is already a big problem. Normally in these story videos and the curious cases we do, it takes a while for things to get interesting, but this one gets hot from the jump. Was it Zaire's fault or was it the coaching staff's fault? Let's get into it. Going into the season, he was projected to be a starter, and if he wasn't going to start, he was going to play big time minutes. But unfortunately, this was the start to the downfall of his career. He got hurt and injured his right ankle. He hurt his ankle at the very beginning of the season, and it was only supposed to take 2 to 3, maybe 4 weeks to rehab it and come back, but it took way longer than anticipated. He was rehabbing it the right way, and it was nothing he was doing wrong on his part. It was just a classic case of your body not healing the way you expect it to and the way the doctors expect it to. Very unfortunate, and as a former athlete, and I'm sure some of you can relate, ankle injuries, they're one of the most frustrating things ever because you think you're healed, but you're really not, and you can re-injure it and get hurt even worse. To make a long story short, he missed way more time than he thought he would, and he missed most of the season, almost half of it. But now here's where the animosity and the heat between the coaching staff, Dwyane Wade, and Zaire start to get blown out of proportion. When he was eventually cleared to come back and play, people thought that he was gonna maybe be a starter or at least a 7th man in his first couple of games, but they couldn't have been any more wrong. When I say he barely, I mean he barely saw playing time, and he wasn't playing only roughly but 4 to 5 minutes per game at max. It's a tricky situation, and for those of you watching and listening, don't be so fast to blame the coaching staff. This was the Sierra Canyon team that has a whole documentary talking about them and how some people think they could be the greatest high school team of all time. So it's not like he was sitting behind average Joes. He was sitting behind 5-star and 4-star recruits. That's why I'm saying don't blame the coaching staff, because I can see where they're coming from. The team was winning a ton of games and they had perfect teammate chemistry, so you didn't want to break it up or mess it up by throwing Zaire in there out of the random. However, at the same time, you can understand why Zaire's frustrated, because he wants to be a part of this team, and I think he rightfully so deserves to play a lot on this team. It's just one of those things where the coaching staff, they didn't know how to play him and when to play him, and they didn't want to mess up the chemistry. I don't think they had it out for Zaire Wade, and I don't think they were hating on him and not playing him because they didn't want to see him succeed. Just because I feel that way though, Dwyane Wade and Zaire Wade himself, they felt a little different about this situation. Dwyane Wade was not happy about this at all, and he even publicly criticized Sierra Canyon's coach. So what happened was, somebody asked Dwyane Wade if he was going to go to the state championship game, and here's what he said. Quote unquote, "I will not be there. My son ain't playing, and I don't want to do nothing to the coach, so I won't be there, but I'll be rooting for the kids." Right there, Dwyane Wade said he doesn't want to do anything to the coach, basically insinuating that he would hurt him. And that's what he said about him publicly, so I couldn't imagine what he was saying about the coaches outside of the public. And Zaire was pretty mad and upset about the situation too. He did post some stuff on Instagram that is now deleted, so if you saw it, you know what I'm talking about. For example, whenever that Sierra Canyon documentary was uploaded, he put on his Instagram, quote unquote, "You woke up a killer." And here's what Zaire had to also say about the documentary. "Just watch the full Sierra doc. Everything in life is a learning lesson. Everything is a war. Everything won't go as planned." So right there, nothing too bad and just motivational, and him giving his opinion on his situation and him saying that he's gonna bounce back. And then last but not least, I hate throwing in long quotes, but this one's important. "Every situation will make you better if you flip your perspective," Zaire said. "To all my teammates, thank you for keeping me sane and mentally stable throughout the year. As for Sierra Canyon, thank you." The young athlete wrote on, "You woke up a killer." And by young athlete, I'm referring to Zaire Wade. So right there you have Zaire, long story short, dissing Sierra Canyon, saying that they messed up big time and they should have gave him a shot, and now he's going to prove them wrong. And ever since he said those quoted words, nobody's heard anything out of this dude. And it's no disrespect whatsoever, it's just me being honest, and it's the reason a few of you have been DMing me and asking where he's at and what's he doing. So he was a senior not in this most recent year, but 2 years ago, and instead of going to college after that terrible or just weird season at Sierra Canyon, he decided to play another year of high school basketball for a prep school called Brewster Academy. If some of you are wondering, yo, how can he play one more year of high school basketball? Did he reclassify? No, in the United States, you can go to prep schools and just play another year. I think that's fairly simple. In other terms, it's another way for players who feel like they're not quite ready to go to college and they want to boost up their rankings and their stock for college coaches. That way they can pick up some more offers. While everything's been relatively quiet for Zaire in this past year, we do have some stuff to talk about and some news to talk about and what's next for his career. Only a couple months ago, it was announced that South Carolina has officially offered him, and that may be where he's leaning towards going. And according to his head coach at Brewster Academy, here's what he had to say. "I know that he's had quite a few Zooms and conversations with a slew of coaches over the last couple of weeks, and he has had some dialogue with Coach Martin at South Carolina. I'm not sure what Zaire's timeline is, he just departed campus to finish the last year." Also later adding, he's had some dialogue with 4 to 5 schools over the last couple of weeks, and my guess is he'll probably have a decision within the next 3 weeks when he takes some campus tours. It's also being reported, according to his head coach, that some other schools that have showed interest in him include TCU, Rhode Island, Toledo, and DePaul. While all these colleges have been looking at him and showing a lot of interest, there's also been some reports and leaks that he may be leaning towards signing with the NBL. The NBL is an overseas league, and we've seen a lot of United States players go there and then try to go to the NBA. So maybe that's a path he might try to do. Me personally, I think that would be a big mistake because there's almost no reason to go overseas now because you can get paid in college. So if you're wanting money, there's no need to go now because you can make that and make as much as you want with this name, image, and likeness rule. And when you're going overseas too, you're going to be playing some really good players and grown men, and I think college would be the best path for him because he'll play players close to his age and around his skill gap. I think in college they'll work with him more and he can improve his game and work on everything, but if he does decide to go overseas or join a pro league, he's not going to have that many one-on-one trainers he can work with. Let me take that back. Yes, he would have some trainers, but I think in college it helps develop players way better because once you go to the NBA or join a pro league, it starts to become a job. He is the son of Dwyane Wade, though, who is a legend, so maybe Wade has some connections that are going to offer his son a $1 million contract. As of right now, though, we can only assume and make guesses at what we think is going to happen because he hasn't said too much about it. I will give him credit. He's good at keeping everything low-key because nobody knows any information on what he's going to do. My only takeaway from this entire mess is that he has a very odd and strange current situation that's been going on for a couple of years. Let me know how you feel about him, but I still don't know if he's good, average, or great because we haven't seen too much film. He didn't play a lot his senior year at Sierra Canyon, so I can't base it off of that. And in this most recent year, I haven't seen anything at Brewster Academy. Yeah, I've seen some highlight videos, but that's highlights. Of course he's going to look good. You don't see any Ball is Life or Hoop Mixtape companies even posting film, workouts, or even tweeting about him at all. And that's strange because he has 2 million followers. He has clout, so why aren't they posting about him? I don't know, kind of strange. Let me know your thoughts about everything down below in the comment section. But with all that being said, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something. If you're new to the channel, what are you doing? Join the family, hit that subscribe button, and leave a like for more. And as always, let's be great. I'm out, y'all. Peace.